Hi guys, I'm about to read Digging Up Dinosaurs by Aliki. It's a stage 2 Reading Rainbow book. Let's get started. Have you ever seen dinosaur skeletons in a museum? I have. I visit them all the time. I went again yesterday. I saw a Apatosaurus. It weighed 70,000 pounds. Apatosaurus plant eater. Wow. Grrr. Stop that, you bully. Imagine putting it together, like a jigsaw puzzle. Apatosaurus, once known as Brontosaurus. I saw Corythosaurus. That's how it looked. Corythosaurus, duck-billed dinosaur, a plant eater. It looks like a duck. I'm glad it's extinct. That thing on its neck is a crest. How do you know so much? It doesn't fit on the page. I saw Iguanodon and Triceratops. I like to say their names. Iguanodon, plant eater. I recognize Iguanodon by its horn thumbs. Here they are. Let's see if you see the horn thumbs. Triceratops, horned dinosaur, plant eater. Tri means three horns. And now, Scolosaurus was just where I had left it, and Tyrannosaurus Rex looked as fierce as ever. Tyrannosaurus used to scare me. I still can't believe how big it is. Just its head is almost twice my size. I'm not afraid of dinosaurs anymore. Sometimes I call them "you bag of bones" under my breath. I can spend hours looking at them. I used to wonder where they came from and how they got into the museum, but now I know. I'm scared. Here he is. This is a little fella. One swat of his tail would show you how little. Hello up there, the king. Scoliosaurus, armored dinosaur, plant eater. Tyrannosaurus Rex, meat eater. Dinosaurs lived millions of years ago. A few of them were as small as birds, but most were enormous. Some dinosaurs ate plants. Some dinosaurs ate the meat of other dinosaurs, and some may even have eaten the eggs of other dinosaurs. Dinosaurs lived almost everywhere on Earth. They lived for millions of years. Then they died out. No one is sure why they became extinct, but they did. There hasn't been a dinosaur around for 65 million years. Brachiosaurus. I'm not familiar with this one, I'm sorry guys. Compsognathus, Ornithimus, and Tyrannosaurus Dilophosaurus. Until about 200 years ago, no one knew anything about dinosaurs. Then people began finding things in rock. They found large footprints. They found huge, mysterious bones and strange teeth. People were finding fossils. They began asking questions about them. What monster made a footprint 3 feet long? Apatosaurus. Did this belong to a human giant or to Megalosaurus? What beast had 6-inch teeth? I bet you know this one. Tyrannosaurus. Fossils are a kind of diary of the past. They are the remains of plants and animals that died long ago. Instead of rotting or crumbling away, the remains were preserved and slowly turned to stone. About 80 million years ago, dinosaur dies and sinks into the river. Its flesh rots, its skeleton is covered by mud. In time, the mud and skeleton turn to stone. Dinosaur is hidden for millions of years. The earth changes. Some of the stone breaks away. Part of the dinosaur is exposed. Fossils tell about life on Earth long ago. Everything we know about dinosaurs comes from studying fossils. Fossil hunters found more and more big bones in different parts of the world. Scientists studied the fossils. They said the bones and teeth and footprints all belonged to a group of giant reptiles that lived on Earth for millions of years. The giants were named Dinosauria, or terrible lizards. In 1822, Marion Mintel found the first dinosaur fossils in England. She discovered some giant fossil teeth. In 1825, her husband, Dr. Gideon Mantell, named the animal iguanodon, or iguana tooth. 9 years later, he found a mass of iguanodon bones. In 1841, Dr. Richard Owen named the giant reptiles dinosaur. It's a picture of the three doctors. What finds these were? People crowded into museums to see them, but the dinosaur bones didn't just get them up and walk there. Didn't just get up there and walk. Let me try that page again. People crowded into museums to see them, but the dinosaur bones didn't just get up and walk there. They had to be dug out of the ground, slowly and patiently. Here they are, the dinosaurs, I mean. How did they ever get here? I can't look. A duck-billed herbivore named Hydrosaurus. You know too much. Excuse me. Don't lose me. This big. Do we have to get this close? Everyone here today? This is fun. They don't know whose footprints these are yet. Imagine how much they'll discover someday. Wait for me. Sorry guys, dry spot. Even today, digging up dinosaurs is not an easy job. A team of experts must work together. Paleontologist, a scientist who studies ancient plants and animals. This skull belonged to a plant eater named Coeluriosaurus. Geologist, a scientist who can tell the age of rocks and fossils. Draftsman, who draws pictures of the fossils. There are draftswomen, too. Workers, who dig the fossils out of the rock. We're not the fossils. Oh, yeah? Photographer, who takes the pictures of the find. Cheese! Specialists, who prepare the fossils for the museum. Don't bump the baby. This is how fossil hunters work. First, they have to find a dinosaur. They search along riverbanks and in quarries. They climb up high cliffs and down into steep canyons. With luck, someone spots a fossil bone poking through the rock. You never know where you'll find something. This is dangerous. Look! This site is covered with a tent, and the work begins. Sometimes the fossil is buried so deep that rock around it has to be drilled or blasted. Tons of rubble are carted away. Scientists chip at the rock close to the fossil. They brush away the grit. They have to be very careful. There may be just a bone or two hidden here. If we're lucky, there may be a whole skeleton. A fossil is a hard rock, but very brittle and easy to shatter. In that case, this dig could take months, even years. What a lot of rubble. As soon as a bone is uncovered, it is brushed with shellac. The shellac helps hold the bone together so it won't crumble. Then the bone is numbered. Sometimes the skeleton has to be cut apart so that it can be moved. The draftsman draws each bone in its exact position and the photographer takes pictures. That way there can be no mix-up later when someone tries to put the skeleton together. Don't move. Sometimes bones are found all scrambled up like this. Figuring out how they fit together is another big job. When the bones are ready to be moved, they are carefully wrapped. Small bones are wrapped in tissue paper and put into boxes or sacks. Matchboxes are perfect for the tiny pieces. 532A224. Imagine unscrambling these if we forgot to number them. Large bones are left half buried in the rock. They will be dug out later in the museum. These fossils are covered with plaster cast, just as a broken leg is. The cast protects the bone. It's amazing how fragile even the big bones are. First, the parts of the fossil that show are covered with wet tissue paper, and then with strips of burlap dipped in wet plaster. Then the whole piece is wrapped in the same way. When the plaster dries, it becomes very hard. The tissue paper covering makes the cast easier to remove later. Each bone is then packed in straw, put into a crate, and taken to the museum. Unpacking all these bones in the museum laboratory will be a big job too. We're lucky there is a road this time. At the museum, scientists unwrap the fossil. They finish digging it out of the rock. They study the bone. This rock is 115 million years old. That means the dinosaur is too. I can tell from these many flat teeth that this was a plant eater. Scientists dig out the fossil in many different ways. They use a hammer and a chisel, fine needles, power tools that work like a dentist drill, special sandblasting machines and even chemicals that dissolve the rock but do not harm the fossil. Very interesting, isn't it? I'm not sure if I showed you this picture or not, so I'll just make sure I did. They compare the bones to other dinosaur bones. They compare them to the bones of other animals. They try to figure out what size and shape the dinosaur was. They try to figure out how the dinosaur stood and walked and what it ate. These are from an iguanodon skeleton. We can tell from the way the bones and teeth are shaped and worn. This is definitely an iguanodon hip bone. I'm not going to read this page today, but it's facts and information about the iguanodon, what it looked like, its size, and different information that would help the scientists identify it as an iguanodon. We'll go into that later when we study the iguanodon. If there are enough bones, scientists are able to build a complete skeleton. A frame is made in the shape of the dinosaur to support the bones. The bones are wired together one by one. They are held in place with pieces of metal. If any bones are missing, plastic or fiberglass ones are made to replace them. You can hardly tell the new bones from the old bones. After many months, the work is complete. The dinosaur skeleton looks just as it once did. This structure is strong enough for iguanodon. It better be. It has to hold up by itself when the chains are removed. When they first found iguanodon, they thought its thumbs belonged to its nose. Those early scientists had some job. Hello, baby. Lower. They'd fall apart without me. This guy's working hard to keep the fossil bones standing up straight, huh? You see her talking, saying hello, baby? I wonder which part of the fossil she's holding wrapped in that tissue paper. I got some pages stuck together. Until recently, only a few museums had dinosaurs. Then scientists learned how to make copies of the skeletons. The copy is hard to make. It takes a long time. The original skeleton has to be taken completely apart, bone by bone. A mold is made for each bone. The new pieces are made of fiberglass. A fiberglass dinosaur is just as scary as the original, but much stronger and lighter. It would take 4 of us to hold a real